Today we are going to talk about things that nobody ever taught you and nobody ever will. And no school will ever teach you these things. In fact, if anything, school will teach you how to exactly be the worst of these things. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the rat race. And before we understand what the rat race is, we first need to understand what money is. So what is money? Most of you think that money is a medium of exchange or even try to give money some moral significance. To me, that is not what money is. We give it a moral significance because we want to put an excuse into it or to label it bad in some sort of way. That is the reason every time we see someone with money, we think like, what do they do to make such amount of money? Who did they have to step over? Where did they steal? We never ask ourselves, what value did they provide so that they could have such kind of money? Is that not true? If we do not take money as value, and we just put a moral significance to it, then money has no purpose in our life. Not always be associating the rich with corruption, illegal business. The same thing applies with the entrepreneurs. They provide value, then they sell the value, then they make the money. Money always accompanies value. Of course, if you buy a bread at 60 Kenya shillings, it is the value that everyone else has agreed upon that is the price of that bread. The second thing, what is our relationship with money? I break the relationship with money into two tiers, production and consumption. And the relationship between those two is our relationship with money. Because production means nothing if we cannot tame our consumption. They are both interrelated. But the one that takes a bigger hit is consumption, because nobody ever talks about the production of money. You see, these things will never balance. One will outweigh the other. And it is better if the production of the money is more than the consumption of the money. That is why most of my videos are based on the production of money. I make 2600 Kenya shillings on this business. I earn 1600 Kenya shillings converting soft copy into hard copy and such kind of videos. Because production is as important as consumption. That's why most videos on this platform, especially from this country, will be on how to invest on MMFs, the best places of money market funds to save your money, the consumption part. But production is where the secret is. And that is why on today's video, I'm focusing on the consumption part of the money, which brings about a rat race. There's this misconception that a rat race is the same as a 9-to-5 job. No, that is not right. A 9-to-5 job has nothing to do with a rat race. My definition of a rat race is living on such an edge that you are chasing the next thing or the next paycheck such that you have shelved all your future goals and plans so that you can keep up with the Joneses. Let me break it down simply like this. You spend so much on consumption that you forget you have a future, that you forget you will retire one day, that you forget you need an emergency fund. You chase the current trend so much that you forget you need to set up yourself for the future. You consume so much such that if anything happened right now, tomorrow you will have nothing to survive on. That is my definition of a rat race. Let me give you an example. There are these two guys who are employed and both of them earn 100,000 Kenya shillings. So one guy lives in a leafy suburb, another one lives just a normal life outskirt of the CBD. So the one who lives a high-end life in the leafy suburbs pays 30,000 in rent. There are the utility bills at the end of the day that come with that kind of place. These guys' kids go to expensive schools, paying around 40,000 per term, which is 3 months, making it around 13,000 per month. This guy has the premium subscriptions on all the streaming services, pays around 6,000 per month on those alone. This guy has taken up a loan to acquire a car, which he probably pays 30,000 per month for the car. Then there's this other guy. He lives somewhere in the outskirts of town. He pays house rent of 10,000 Kenya shillings. His kids go to a public school. He doesn't have those premium subscriptions. He just uses the normal digital box, like the multi-choice ones like GoTV. Pays 400 maximum per month for them. He doesn't have a car. He commutes to work, or probably pays 20 Kenya shillings to 50 Kenya shillings to and from work. So this second guy will manage to have some extra cash left over after all the expenses to save and invest and do all the things that he needs to do to set up his future. But the first guy, he will be living life in the moment so much that by the end of the month, the guy is surviving on debt, bad debt probably. Mobile lending apps, He has them like 20 of them. Every time the salary comes first, he has to pay those apps, those debts, so that he can take some more. This guy will not have time to set himself for the future or for an emergency. But this other guy, he will have some money left over to start small businesses, side hustles. Within 20 years, this guy will have a motorbike working for him. He will have probably an Uber working for him. This other guy, the only thing he will be having are photos to prove that he lived life, but nothing. If an emergency happens and both of them lose their jobs, the first guy is in hot soup because he was living a rat race. You can't be earning 100,000 Kenya shillings in a month and you're spending 110,000 Kenya shillings in a month. It will mean the consumption is more than the production. This is what takes us to the rat race. It is all about our relationship with money. When you think of a rat race, do not think about employment versus business entrepreneurship. No. If you think about rat race, think about relationship with money. That is the only basic rule about a rat race. And that is the only way you are going to escape it. Because if your relationship with money is such a way that your production is not outweighed by your consumption, you are having some money to save, to invest, to set up emergency funds, which set you up for your life. So my definition of a rat race is living life on such an edge that you need the next thing or the next paycheck to live your life now, as opposed to saving for your future plans and goals. It just means you are consuming so much right now that you are not even thinking about the future. That is the real rat race. Because how do you escape a rat race? By being wealthy, by being financially independent. It is the only way to escape the rat race. But if your consumption is such that you need a paycheck to take you through the next month, how are you going to build wealth? I will bet with you, if your relationship with money is such that consumption outweighs production, in 20 or in 40 or in whatever years, if our job is just abruptly cut off, no more flow of money, you will struggle. If your relationship was terrible with money, but I will not struggle. I will have set myself up for life. This is why you see people have retired, but they still need to go work. Retirement is not time to work. Retirements are for retiring, resting, traveling, seeing the world, and all that. But that will never come if you're not financially prudent. You're not financially wise. You're not financially stable. You're not financially independent. You need to be all those things for you to escape. I'm just urging you, especially the young people, because you still have time, a lot of time. Our parents are struggling up country because they didn't establish good foundation for their retirement life. That is why even when the government says we should increase our deposit of the NSSF, people are complaining, but they forget this is for their own good. Stop engaging in this social media competition where you need to wear a shoe worth 10,000 shillings because some artist is wearing the same shoe. Please save your life. Escape the rat race first. Then you can do all this. If you can be able to amass assets or investments that bring you the kind of money you need to buy good things in life, well and good, nobody's against that. But if you're buying the good things in life at the expense of escaping the rat race, that is a very big mistake. Can you imagine being 65 years old and working in the same company with your 25-year-old son? Your son is earning, let's say 100,000 Kenya shillings and you're earning 20,000 Kenya shillings just because you lived for the moment, you didn't save, you didn't set your life, you didn't set goals. Mali imefika naona nikaa nimeanza ku-advise wazazi. So acha tu niachane na hiyo story. I hope today's video has been very inspirational and educational to you. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for always staying tuned to my channel. If you are watching at this timestamp right now, God bless you always. Kindly like, subscribe, share. See you in the next video. Mukanda forever.